welcome to the Get You Happy On show with Olivia, your savvy social humorist. I'm so thrilled to be here with you celebrating our 25th episode. Woo! Oh my gosh, I made it to 25th episode. It feels so good to reach this milestone. I count every single win, and I'm so grateful for each and every single guest that's appeared on this show. And I can't think of anyone better to celebrate my 25th episode with than the other Nandi, like Nandi Wilson, who is my fellow cohort colleague of the Humor Academy. And she is known as the Laughter Transformation Strategist. So stay tuned because she's going to be on screen with us in a few minutes here to share her story. And please engage with us. Welcome to the hashtag Happy Laugh Hour, where we want to make sure that you're getting your laughs in for the day. And so I'm sure Nandi is going to help us with that. Absolutely. So our question of the day for this theme episode is, can laughter do so much? Is laughter really that powerful to be able to release the strongholds of life, to cure sickness and disease, trauma and curses? And Nandi seems to think so because she has been giving the God-appointed gift of laughter and to take it to the nation. So I'm so on the edge of my seats because I want to hear her testimony about this and what it means for her. So please join in the conversation. We love to have you in the comments, asking your questions. What is it that you're experiencing? And perhaps we can do some laughter with you. So we only know if you're there if you comment and engage with us. So please comment and connect. So please help me welcome my dear colleague, Nandi Wilson. Ta-da! You made it, Nandi. Thank you.
Happy 25th episode.
Thank you. It's been such a journey to arrive here and, keeping up my enthusiasm and energy for it. There are days when I feel like, oh my gosh, okay, is this it? Is this it? But, there's a part of me that just wants to keep going because then I get to talk to people like you and, who you might introduce me to and so many other people that are waiting in line, right, that I could just explore happiness and humor topics with. So I always feel like there's more to be done. So I'm not finished yet.
I love it. You're an amazing young lady. So I'm excited to be here and sharing this with you. You just keep going, you keep moving, you keep executing, and I'm telling you, you're going to reach that place that you know you're supposed to be.
Thank you, Nandi. Thank you so much. And, you have had such an interesting career, and you work in the Foreign Service, embassy department, and yet how did you find your way to laughter, your real job, the Laughter Transformation Strategist?
I mean, it's kind of a funny story. The truth is, I had a supervisor one day call me in the office and literally told me I was too happy, I laughed too loud, and that I was just too loud. I worked with an office full of introverts and I needed to tone it down. And I remember leaving her office and I kept saying, tone it down. How do I tone it down? I don't even know what tone down looks like, right? My mom said I came out the womb screaming, ready to journey through life, right? So if I came out the womb like that, I can't even imagine being mid-career hire thinking, how do I tone it down? And literally, I would go in the office and I would just be like, good morning. I wouldn't laugh. I wouldn't say anything, And 2 weeks later, I was called back into that same supervisor's office. And she asked me what was wrong. Because she was getting complaints that I was not myself. And she thought that maybe I was going to hurt myself. And I was like, whoa. Wait a minute. 2 weeks ago, I was too happy. Now I want to kill myself? Like, this does not make any sense. And even though I laughed it off, when I went home, I was in tears. And I really began to pray to God because my thought was, this is my job, right? And so I wanted to conform. And I had an amazing encounter with God. And in that encounter, he told me that my new name was Laughter to the Nations. And that when I showed up in a room and would be myself, that laughter would cause healing, transformation, like cure diseases, dissipate depression. And so that's how I got started. And I got up from that encounter thinking, oh, yeah, that's amazing. And I remember going through that week, and then I was like, what does that look like? What does that look like? And I'll never forget, this is where I got, for me, a confirmation that I was in a restaurant with a girlfriend. We were having a great time. And as we were walking out the door, this woman stopped me. She's like, ma'am, can I talk to you? And I turned around and I'm like smiling, like, sure. But in my mind, I'm like, I hope she's not crazy. Like, what does she want? And she said, I want you to know I'm here on my 25th wedding anniversary. She suffers from migraine headaches. And she wanted me to know that loud noises triggers migraines. So now I'm about to feel really depressed because I'm like, oh God, here we go again. I'm laughing too loud, whatever. But she said this most amazing comment to me. She said, every time you laughed, my headache went away. It got lower and lower to the point I no longer had a headache. And I told my husband, and he was like, well, go tell her. And that's when she came around and tell me that in her thought and mind that my laughter cured her migraine headache.
That is incredible. So
And
which
that
leads
started
me
my
now.
journey.
So that leads me to ask, what is your signature laugh? Have you developed that signature?
It is just loud, boisterous, and like the definition says, it comes straight from the belly. And I have to admit, I am loud. I mean it, and I can tell you, it's not generated. It just happens, and it's been happening since I was a little girl. And so that's just the way I was born. And what I love about God is that He uses what's already on the inside of you. Like you're an entrepreneur. I believe entrepreneurship was already on the inside of you. You just discovered what was in you, and now you're becoming who you were always called to be.
You do have a distinctive laugh. Loud, boisterous, straight from the belly. And it fills the room, Nandi.
I love it. I can't run from it.
You can't. And why should you run from that? That is powerful that someone would come up to you to say, like, her migraine headache dissipated just from the sound of your laughter. Like, that's incredible to me. Wow, what a gift. What a gift that is. And so that was part of your journey. And then where else did you go to develop this laughter journey of yours?
So one of the things God told me to do was, of course, learn your craft. And so I just started typing in the word laughter, like, laughter organizations, laughter this, laughter that. And I came across the World Tour Laughter Organization by Steve Wilson, who is a retired psychologist who has been using, I think, like 30 years ago plus, he was using laughter therapy in his sessions. And who would have thought that many years ago he was using something like laughter to help people deal with their trauma, deal with distress and anxiety. Who would have thought that? And so I joined his organization, flew my happy tail to Ohio twice, had an amazing time. I have a 4-inch binder with resources and exercises and everything laughter, and you learn how to use laughter and start laughter clubs, and and so I've been certified. He's one of my greatest mentors. He's amazing. He's one of the nicest guys there. And I think I shared with you earlier how, I showed up thinking I did not belong. And his kind words set me on a path to know that I was right where I was supposed to be.
So beautiful. Yes. So big shout out to you, Steve Wilson, World Laughter Tour. Highly encourage you all to connect with Steve as well. And I need to get Steve onto the show.
Yes, he would love it.
Excellent. And Nandi, let's touch upon a little bit about, our book that we've been studying in this year, Using Humor to Maximize Living, because we're part of the Humor Academy Level 1. It's hard to believe, it's almost like yeah. So it's hard to believe. I mean, we've been, involved in our classes since March or April, and now we're coming towards the end, and we're getting ready for our next year's conference where we'll hopefully graduate into level 2. But what has been your experience like with Humor Academy? And we each had to present the chapter. So your chapter is actually on Hurt for Humor. And so let's talk a little bit about that. What was the impact on this chapter for you and its application?
Wow, so it's amazing because I have been a part of AATH. I know I'm missing one letter. AATH, right? Anyway, so Mary Kay had caught me like my first year, and she was like, "I really think you would benefit from Humor Academy," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna join," and I never joined. And then this year, I knew it was time, and I think we're always destined to meet the people we're supposed to meet. So I know that I was supposed to be with the cohorts that we have in this group, right? And they're all amazing. So I did the chapter on hurtful laughter, right? And Mary Kay does a great job of describing it, and she really talks about the job, hurtful laughter on a job, and humor doomers, people who don't like to laugh, and they're against everybody who loves to laugh or have joy, and they just want to, a doomer, like someone comes in like a big bomb and tries to, put your light out. But we're not going to let people put your light out. And so I thought it was amazing that I got to do that there. And so I really learned that the people on my job were humor doomers. I didn't know what they were. I just called them mean. But they're not mean. They're humor doomers. So if you encounter someone mean on your job, they're not, mean. They're a humor doomer, okay? And they just don't like laughter, which is ridiculous. Who doesn't like laughter? And so anyway, I had, what I like about the Humor Academy, it's challenging because it's we're required to do a journal, and we have to pay attention to when we laugh. And for someone who just naturally laughs, I don't think I always pay attention to when I laugh. And so it's been challenging, right? Paying attention to laughing in certain situations. So I remember, and I shared earlier, I remember when I was just in the office, this was like a couple of weeks ago, the atmosphere was just, blah. That's the only thing I could say. It was like blah. It wasn't happy, it was just, it was heavy. And I was just sat at my desk, and I literally just burst out laughing. I just released this huge storm of laughter. And I just kept laughing, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, what's going on? What's going on?" And before you know it, people, how this is contagious. So then people started laughing, and no one knew why they were laughing. Before you know it, the whole office was laughing, and we were all laughing, and no one knew. And someone finally came and said, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "I don't know. I just felt like I needed to laugh, and it changed. It lightened up, that atmosphere. And so what I love about that is what a laughter transformation strategist does. It transforms atmospheres. You know what I'm saying? And so I love it. I love the power of laughter. And if we just, as human beings, need to release it more. You don't have to have a reason to laugh. Just laugh. You don't need a comedy show. You don't need a comedian. Just sit there, and if you feel like laughing, then let it out. It might not feel like it's real, but it's doing something, right? You're releasing those serotonins, right? You're releasing the endorphins, right? They call it dose. DOS, because those are the four chemicals that are released when you laugh, right? And so it's like take your daily dose of laughter, right? So you're releasing the doxycyclines and I can't even pronounce them all. I ain't even gonna pretend like I'm smart enough to know all of them, right? I just know what they mean, right? So you got your happy laughter, your feel good chemicals, So I know it stands for those. I know what they look like when I see them, but I can admit when I don't know something, y'all. Okay.
No, you're full of endorphins, Nandi. How's that? Full of
Yes.
endorphins. Um, I think we need to add another quality to your signature laughter, and that is contagious. So not only is that loud and boisterous straight from the belly, it's contagious.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's funny because I can hear other laughter. Like when they're like loud and stuff, and I'm drawn to them and I'm looking and I'm like in my mind, yes, laugh, release it. Let's form an army.
So speaking of humor, right? So every episode of Get You Happy On, I like to introduce a cartoon from my good friend Robert Bostick, and I try to think of a cartoon that matches each person I have on the show. So I chose a cartoon for you, Nandi, and I love you to take a look at it. So hang on one second, I'll pull on the screen.
Okay. Uh-oh.
So when you see it, I'd love for you to read it out loud. Here we go.
Okay. The Serious Corporation designated laughing area. Laughter in buildings strictly prohibited. I love it. I love it. That is amazing.
It kind of
That
reminds me of
is
your office. Laughing is strictly prohibited.
that's my supervisor. Yep, that's what it was. It was the Serious Corporation. She didn't even know it. I love it. I love it.
So yeah, so you can find cartoons like this and more at humorpoint.com, but I really thought this was suitable for our conversation today. And we touched upon something else too during our Humor Academy classes, and that was toxic positivity. What is your take on that? Is there such a thing as, toxic positivity, like being overly optimistic?
So, to the Serious Corporation, yes. To the Laughter Transformation Strategist, no. How can you ever be too positive? I think what the world needs is more positivity. I mean, we have a war in Ukraine. We need to be more positive. We ourselves were in a 20-year war with Iraq and Afghanistan. I think we need to be more positive, and not just being more positive, because I think positive's best friend is gratefulness. And we have to learn to be so grateful. And if you're more grateful, you're more positive, maybe you think about being mean to that person for no reason. Maybe you'll be a little nicer in traffic. I'm a recovering, angry driver. I am no longer an angry driver. And so I think we need more positivity. I don't believe in it being too much. Not at all. That's like saying, too much love. There's no such thing. We need more love. We need more positivity. That's my take on it.
Well said. And I'd love to share this quote that you have here. So I'm going to bring it on the screen for you as well, too. Look at this quote. How did you come up with this quote, Nandi?
So it's funny. I was doing a research while I was researching pain medicine. I don't know. I think because when I remember listening to a commercial about depression, and one of the side effects of depression is suicide. Well, oh my God, that's horrible. You're already depressed, and now it's going to give you thoughts of suicide. Like, who wants to be on that medicine? So I started doing research on medicine, and I believe I was on the Advil website, and I remember thinking that laughter is the only over-the-counter natural pain reliever that can give you relief all day. And that was a spin-off of a quote that was actually on Advil. And so they think that their medicine is an over-the-counter natural pain reliever that gives you relief all day, when it's still a medicine that you're actually taking. You're still taking a pill. And I remember thinking, I'm going to replace that with laughter. And that's how I came up with that quote.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah. So laughter is the only over-the-counter natural pain reliever that you can give relief all day. Excellent. Well
All
said.
day, all day. And there was another one I think I told you. It's called Laugh All Day Strong, right? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to laugh all day strong. Their scientists have proven that laughter can cure heart disease. It can bring your blood pressure down. It can relieve stress. And so instead of just going to go get a prescription from your doctor, I'd rather try something that God gave us naturally that releases endorphins, as we said, to cause you to laugh. And when I think about that in real life, like when you really start thinking about that, God put a chemical in it. First of all, he allowed man to name it, right? A feel-good chemical, right? But he put this chemical in your brain that every time you laugh, the truth is you ward off depression. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? So I mean, we need more laughter. We need more laughter. And I think the pandemic proved that we need more laughter.
I admire so much your faith, and how your faith and belief in God has led you on this path, not only to consider laughter and making it a part of your life, a part of who you are, your purpose, your mission. I can see Laughter to the Nations is so ingrained in you, and it drives you, Nandi. And so let's talk about the G.A.L.E is coming. Like, how did you get this message that the G.A.L E is coming? Like, give us a lesson about this word, G.A.L E.
So I actually had a bad dream when I normally don't have bad dreams. And I remember waking up in a panic, and I heard the voice of my Father God, and he said, "Calm down, daughter, I'm here." And he told me to look at the clock. So it was like 5 something in the morning, 5:30, I believe, in the morning. And then I hear him say, "G.A.L E is coming." And I started laughing. And I was like, okay, God, you know all things. So you already know I don't know anybody named G.A.L E. Right? And he says it's a what and not a who. So of course I get up, I go to the dictionary, and it's a weather terminology. Now people probably have heard of it. I never knew. I never put it together. And so gale, the first definition is strong winds, like violent winds. And so I get that. It's for me, it's the strong wind of the Holy Spirit, right? And then the second definition, get this, is an emotional outburst of laughter. So G.A.L E is coming, Nandi. It is time for you to break out in an emotional outburst of laughter. It's time for you to laugh. Because why am I in a panic attack? I wasn't, why am I experiencing panic? Why am I experiencing stress like that? So how do I overcome it? I have an emotional outburst of laughter. And then God gave me the acronym for it, right? G.A.L.E, God's Anointed Laughter Explosion. And God sent me on a journey of having a conference. It's a 1 day conference, um, and it's November 12th, and it's in Maryland, and it's called G.A.L.E, God's Anointed Laughter Explosion. And I'm so excited. I have someone that's talking about laughter and forgiveness. Man, this world needs a whole lot of forgiveness. You know, unforgiveness really is a major part of sickness, because I read a study that the body keeps count of traumatic moments. Your body is keeping count. This is where sickness and disease is coming from. We just, we as humans give it names, you know. And so I believe that laughter can cure a lot of those things. I mean, science is proving it more and more. I think Norman Cousins, who wrote a book, and when I read it, I was like, oh my God, an attorney who was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And I don't know what made him quit his job, number one. And then I don't know what made him go get all these comedy shows. Like he got Three Stooges and all these other comedian shows. He got Lucille Ball, and he just began to watch them and laugh, and he was cured from cancer. To me, that's God. Like, no one just in their right mind decides, I'm gonna quit my good paying job because I have cancer, and now I'm just gonna laugh for the rest of my life, and I'm gonna become cured. Like, it's just amazing what laughter can do, and I am so happy to be a part of the journey of laughter.
Fantastic. I'm so excited for this conference. I do want to share your Eventbrite. So give me one moment. I'll pull up the screen so everyone can see how amazing this conference is and be part of it all. So here we go. So share screen. And I'm going to share the Eventbrite tab. And please, if you're watching this and you're curious to hear more about Nandi and her story, please connect with her on Facebook. And if you're on Facebook, she has this posted already about God Anointed Laughter Explosion. I just love that name. I love that name so much. It's just, and you've got the fireworks here in the banner. Like, how appropriate, like fireworks, only at your event. But this is all, and so this is on Eventbrite, and you can search for this event on Eventbrite, or just go visit Nandi's Facebook page. All information will be there. It's November 12th. It's coming up very soon. And yeah, read the description, and there's a map, everything that's available for you here. So just wanted to show you that this is a live event. It's in person. So if you're in the area, definitely go.
Yes. One of my favorite, I mean, they're all my favorite speakers. They're all, oh yes, the definition is up there as well. I'm gonna be honest, all the speakers are my favorite, but there is one lady, she's a clinical social worker, and she does meditation, and she's going to lead people to their core, and they're going to discover their authentic laughter and then release it. How amazing. That is what G.A.L.E is all about, right? That emotional outburst of laughter. So now you're going to release your laughter in the atmosphere. You're muted.
I got so excited. So I love this quote that I've highlighted on here too, that laughter opens the heart to receive joy and to move a person to a more resilient state of being. I mean, this is the conference for you if you are a humor doomer.
Yes, come. I mean, you do laughter yoga, and so one of the things is that when you laugh, you open up your heart, like you expand your lungs. Like, how amazing is that? So yes, I love it.
So we're getting towards the end of the show, but not before you tell us a little bit what's on the horizon for you. I hear you've got a program that you are currently masterminding. So Nandi, could you please share with us just a little bit of what we can expect from the future?
Yeah, so I am working on a Laughaholic. As you can see, both Olivia and I are Laughaholics. We embody joy and we are preoccupied with laughter. And I'm coming up with masterminding with a coach, and we're coming up with 7 steps on how to overcome being a humor doomer or a serious person. I am so excited about where I'm going with this and how many lives I can help transform and change. That is the purpose of my life, is to help transform other people's lives. I believe that when you have a gift and a calling, God uses us as an answer. So we have Olivia and myself as answers, to this world's problems.
I'm so thrilled for you, Nandi. Can't wait to be part of that big old launch for Laughaholics. Excellent. And I think we need to do 1 minute of laughter. What do you think?
I love it.
Let's do
I'm
1 minute.
ready.
I'm going to
Okay.
get my timer on here, and we're just going to laugh with 1 whole minute. And we invite you. So if you're watching this, join us. Release it, like Nandi says. Release it.
Are we starting? Okay.
Hang on 1 second. Let me get the timer going. 1 minute on the clock. And away we go. 1, 2, 3. I can't stop. The 1 minute's over, but
Oh my God. Oh my God, that was so awesome. Oh, I feel so good. Oh man. I don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight now. I'm like so high. And I love that about endorphins. Like you really get a laughter high when you just release that. Oh my God, it's the most you don't need weed, you don't need to smoke them funny cigarettes. I'm telling you, get you some laughter and you will feel good. Okay. You
so
don't
if
need no
you're watching
alcohol.
this, I hope you enjoyed that. Just start laughing wherever you are. And Nandi, I know you've got a big work project coming up, so I'm hoping that kind of like boosted your mood a little bit,
It
giving you
did. It
extra
really
energy
did.
for the project that you've got, deadline that's coming. So, and just speaking with you, I'm like really curious. I would love to maybe see you in the future have your own signature laugh track, right? Because you do have a distinct
Ooh,
laugh. And I think
yes.
everyone has a signature laugh. And I'm curious to find out like what's mine. Like I want to be able to like have people recognize me just by my laughter.
Oh my God. I'm gonna say I would think that I would get tired of hearing it, but I promise you, like even this weekend, my girlfriend and I were in Walmart. We went to North Carolina and we were in Walmart and we were just being silly. And I was again laughing. See how I just laughed? that could cure a headache. I can see why someone would say I cured their headache because I laugh like that in a restaurant, right? And so we were laughing, and the lady comes around the corner. Oh my God, who is that? I love your laughter, you know. And I get that almost everywhere I go. I have been in countries, sitting in the airport, and people be like, "Oh, I like your laughter. I like you," and you know. And then I end up getting like little favors and stuff because you know I've made people feel good, you know, and I like that I can help transform someone's life even on a small level.
Yes, I think we need to add that as like a bonus for the Laughaholics, you know,
Yeah.
exclusive Nandi laughter track.
Girl, listen, I'm gonna be on the internet tonight. Don't you play. I'm looking for a studio, okay? I am looking for a studio. Yes.
Excellent. Well, I'd love to have it when it's ready. And this has been so much fun, but not before we end with 21 rapid fire questions. So, Nandi, are you ready for this?
I hope so. Yes, I'm ready.
All right. So, rapid fire question time for Nandi. Here it goes. All right. Do you have a middle name?
I do.
What is it?
My name is Louise.
Okay, Louise. Okay,
Yes.
excellent. Like Thelma and Louise. Like Thelma and Louise. That's the only way I
I really
remember it.
don't like my middle name, but yes. And my mother insisted on calling me Nandi Louise.
Nandi Louise. It's like Nandi, the one name, and then Louise.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly.
Sorry to any Louises out
I do a
there.
plug really quick right here. Can I do a plug real quick right here? One of the definitions of Nandi, the Hindu definition, means to be joyous and happy. Look at
Oh, I
that.
didn't know that. So Nandi means joyous and happy. Okay. Well, you
Yes.
see, you're just like born to live up to your name.
Yes.
Awesome. Um, so I know that you're a big fan of heart-shaped glasses as well. So how many pairs do you have?
Oh my God. 5.
5? Okay.
Yes.
And what is something that you would never admit to your coworker?
um. Oh my goodness. Something I would never admit to my coworker. Uh. I don't know. Like, I'm so open. Well, let's see. I would never admit to my coworker how much I love them and support them.
Oh, great answer. Great answer. Um, name a country that you've been to twice.
Um, Kenya.
You've been to Kenya twice?
Yes.
Wow, awesome, awesome. And is there a local cuisine that you recommend in Kenya?
In Kenya? Ooh. So I lived in Mombasa for a year, which is on the coast. I would recommend they don't call them shrimp, and I can't think of the name right now. But anyway, yes, they have uh, the big shrimp. We don't see shrimp that big here, so I would recommend like a grilled shrimp platter or a lobster platter.
They have that in Kenya?
So Mombasa was on the coast.
Okay, okay, so
I
they have.
So yeah, so where I lived, I actually had a apartment that overlooked the ocean, and I could get fresh seafood.
Oh, that sounds exquisite. Okay, awesome. Good to know. All right, Mombasa's on my bucket list. Um,
Yes.
now, what is the language they speak in Kenya?
English and Swahili is their language. Swahili, and a lot of them speak English And then, depending on the tribe, they have different dialects of African languages, but Swahili was definitely their language.
So how do you say laughter in Swahili?
Oh, that's good. I never learned that.
Darn it.
But I say hello, Jumbo.
Wonderful. And what's a country you love to visit?
A country that I would love to visit. Ooh, there's probably quite a few. I'm gonna say Colombia and Brazil. I have two
Colombia
that
and
I would
Brazil.
love to visit.
Okay. Excellent. Wonderful. Do you think you'll have a G.A.L.E conference in Colombia and Brazil?
Maybe not in Colombia, Brazil, but maybe in Ecuador. So yes, I think I would do it in Ecuador.
You're in Ecuador? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes,
You've gone international, Gail.
yes, yes.
Wonderful. If Steve Wilson was here with us right now, what would you say to Steve?
I would say, oh, I love you. You're an amazing man. And thank you for teaching me to use laughter to help transform the world.
Aw, I bet he can't wait to hear it. What an awesome mentor. I know he's helped so many on their laughter yoga teacher training. So excellent.
Yes.
Do you see yourself becoming an ambassador with the Foreign Service?
No. No,
That
ma'am.
was a big
No, ma'am. They don't want me as an ambassador. I might end all wars, and we'd just be all, handshakes, kisses, and loves and hugs. So yeah, no, but it was never a desire or a dream for me.
What's the most interesting job you've ever had?
The most interesting job I had, I was let's see, what did I do? I did something I never did before. I was like a construction manager. I had no training for it. But when I was in Nairobi, I helped build a water treatment center. So that made it the best ever.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh, wow. So you were like
Yes.
in the trenches.
Yes. In the trenches. Supervising the trenches anyway.
Wow. So this is like a
Yes.
water well system in Nairobi? That's amazing.
Yes. One for our government, it eliminated the use of plastic bottles, and we had clean drinking water. I mean, and it was so crisp. I don't think I've ever tasted water so clean before.
That's exciting for the people there. My goodness, I'm sure they needed that. They needed that so much.
Yes.
What was the last movie that you saw?
The last movie I saw, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
I love that movie.
I did too. I just watched it last week.
Was it the first time you saw that, or you were just
No,
watching it?
I think it's number 10 for me. Maybe 10th time I've watched it.
It never gets old. I really do love the whole story, and this is our love plant.
Yes. She was a man. I remember the first time watching that movie and I was thinking, women do that? Like seriously? Oh my god, it was adorable. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, it was one of those just romantic comedies, and that was the first time I fell in love with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh my god, I think everybody did. I think everybody did. You called it sugar puss. Oh, sugar puss, forgive me. I was like, oh, I don't even know what a sugar puss is, but can you call me sugar puss?
I think we need to get Matthew McConaughey to record a voice message like that.
Oh, I would love it.
Hear his voice calling us sugar puss.
Yes, I would love it.
So funny. Excellent. What's your favorite food, Nandi?
Ooh. So I have to admit that my favorite food, I have two. I love Mexican food and I love Chinese food, like good Chinese food, not corner store. I like restaurant, fresh cooked Chinese food. I can eat that all day long, and I can eat Mexican food all day long. All day long. I
Um,
love tacos. I love nachos. I
mm,
just, and heavy on the sour cream and cheese, right? I love a good quesadilla, Yeah.
you had me at nachos. I'm craving nachos right now. Like loaded, right? Like I love making my own and loading it up.
Yes.
Bacon bits, mushrooms, veggies, sour cream.
Ooh, yes.
I might just have
Except
that for
for the
dinner.
mushrooms. I'm not a big mushroom fan. That's why I
Not
could
big
never
mushroom.
be a vegetarian because I couldn't eat a portobello at all. Like the thought of a portobello just it doesn't sit well with me.
Let's test your knowledge of mushrooms. So besides the portobello, what other mushroom types are there that you can think of?
I know that there are button mushrooms, um, and what shikatique or how does it say a shikatique mushroom?
Shiitake. Yes, there you
Shiitake mushroom,
go.
yes,
Okay.
and just your ordinary garden sign me regular mushroom.
Awesome. There's so many varieties of mushrooms. You might change your mind if you try like a king oyster mushroom or the
So,
enoki
oh,
mushroom.
I know there are oyster mushrooms, and the reason I know that is because I was watching one of the cooking shows, and they were cooking with oyster mushroom, and I was like, wow, like it was amazing. I mean, it looked really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of my favorite things with king oyster mushrooms is just to slice them and saute them with some Parmesan cheese. And
Wow.
their texture is really meaty, so it's supposed to be like a meat substitute because it's really chewy and meaty. No, not for you. Okay. Not today, Nandi. um, so the best thing about eating Chinese food is you get the fortune cookie. Are you a big fan of fortune cookies?
I do like fortune cookies.
Do you collect the sayings, the
I don't
fortune sayings?
collect like I used to, but I don't anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore.
Do you recall maybe one fortune cookie saying that you really liked?
Uh, I think that the last one I read, which was so many years ago, was like, "You will find your greatest love," and I'm like, here I am, like, I'm still looking. Where is he? Where's my greatest love? So yeah.
Well, I would say your greatest love is you.
you know, yeah. I am. I do. I thank God. I do. I love who I am. I am who I am, and I'm grateful for that. And I had to grow into that. And so yes, yes.
So besides laughter, what is also like another pick me up for you?
You know what? Hosting dinner parties for my besties. That is a huge pick me up. I love cooking. Cooking is a huge stress reliever. I love baking. So when my girlfriends come over, when my besties come over, they get the whole shebang entertainment. They get a smorgasbord. Like I'll do my island filled with appetizers like cheeses and meats and little miniature meatballs and shrimp and special jellies and special cheeses and crackers and I do an amazing crab dip and a buffalo chicken dip, and I love filling them up with all that stuff, and then I cook a really big meal, and then I just include a dessert. Yeah, so
Wait,
it's a,
so So the smorgasbord is not the meal. That's just the appetizer.
It's just the
And
appetizer. So it's like a cocktail appetizer time, right? So I'm not a drinker, but when I did drink, I used to like making sangria. So for when my girlfriends come over, because they do drink, I make them sangria, and they love my sangria. And so they get sangria. We do we do like a cocktail appetizer hour for like an hour, and we're talking and laughing, and then we serve dinner. And I do nothing on paper plates. Everything is real dishes, silverware, wine glasses, water glasses. And we're not sitting at a table, but we're just sitting around because I have such an extra large island, so I can get like 6 people there, and then I have my dining room table, and we have such a great time. We forget sometimes to put on the music, so that is one of my greatest favorite pastimes that keep me uplifted. And I think I have such a great group of besties. Like we love and support one another. So yeah.
that is wonderful. Your face is lit up as you're describing all that. When's this next dinner party? Where do I get an invite?
I know, right? So it's funny because my girlfriend, her birthday's coming up in November, and she wants to do a slumber party. And so I was like, oh man. So I was trying to get her to do a theme, right? I was like, let's do like wigs and wedges, right? We wear all, heels and fancy, funky color, purple and red wigs, and then she started laughing. She was like, oh, I don't know. And then I was like, yeah, that would look so fabulous with your fancy pajamas. And then I was like, well, maybe like, bustiers and bubblies and besties, so I was trying to come up with themes for her, and she just wasn't feeling any of them. But she definitely said she wanted a place that had a kitchen so I can cook. And I was like, oh, while all of y'all having fun, I'll be in the kitchen cooking, So we'll see. And her birthday's coming up in November, so we'll see.
That's awesome. Sounds like you have a wonderful group of supportive friends. Wonderful. When was the last time you took a trip with your friends?
Ooh, that's easy. So I have a group of sisters. We call each other sisters, and we do a trip every year. And in August, we just went to Cancun, and we look for places that have really fabulous spas. So we just spent 5 glorious days together in Cancun, and we had such an amazing time. And we're already starting to plan for next year. So
Girls trip in Cancun. I love
yes,
that.
we even wear cute little T-shirts that say "Sisters Weekend" and they're in rhinestone. So we always wear it on the first day and traveling, and so it's always so funny. Yeah, we do it up.
That is amazing. I'm so glad to hear that you make time to travel with your best friends too. So wonderful, wonderful. Well, Nandi, you have completed the 21 rapid fire question time. Congratulations. Awesome. Oh my gosh. What a joy it is to laugh with you, to learn about all your amazing projects that you've got coming on the horizon. For those of you watching, please look into Nandi's Facebook page, give her a follow so that way you can keep up to date with the G.A.L.E event. G.A.L E is coming. And so if you forgot what G.A.L E stood for, it is God's Anointed Laughter Explosion. So that's all happening November 12th. It's the first conference that Nandi's organizing, and we're hoping that she'll have more to come. The next one might be in Ecuador, so stay tuned. But Nandi, it's been such a joy. You bring so much joy, and you fill up the screen, and you just are so exuberant. And I love your signature laugh. I think there's more to come,
You're
and
amazing.
I'm so happy to be part of it.
Thank you so much. You're so amazing. I really appreciate it. This was so much fun. It was just so much fun. And it's always great to be with another humorist or a laugh strategist or I think I made up a word one day in class, and I think I called it a laugherist or something.
Yeah, laughterous. A laughaholic laughterous.
Yes, yes. And I might pull you on as one of the laughaholic counselors that's going to help people get over being serious. So yay! Stay tuned.
Stay tuned indeed. Yes. So love being in this Humor Academy journey with you. We're only in our first year and there's 2 more years to go. And I'm so excited. I'm thrilled. I'm just taking it all in. And so I'm happy to be on this journey with you.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful day, Nandi, and we'll be in touch.
Yay!
Take care, everyone. Bye bye. Thank you so much for watching Get Your Happy On. Have you enjoyed today's episode? I invite you to comment. So please share with us your thoughts and ideas in the comments. We'll be checking and would love to reply back to you. Please also connect. Connect with each of our amazing special guests and connect with each other here in the comments as well. This is a great way to network and to make new friends. And finally, collaborate. I would love to find ways to collaborate with you or help you to find collaborations with vast people in my network. So remember, comment, connect, and collaborate. Thank you again. See you next week.